This is Gary Shaw from Bray Wanderers, and you're watching Irish Footy Vlogs. Please subscribe to the channel.
Guys, welcome to the First Division Review Show. Full calendar of games this weekend. They all happened on Friday night, actually. We started off keen with Bray and Cabinteely. Finished Bray 1, Cabinteely 2 in the derby. And this was, it's interesting because this is the first time Cabinteely have won at the Carlisle grounds. And I know they played a lot of their young players in this game as well. So Bray fans really weren't happy with this performance and result. It's filtering out the season for Bray a little bit, keen, but they are in the playoffs. How do you see them as well going forward now?
Yeah, look, it's Longford done the same last year. Longford nearly fell out the back door of the playoffs last year. And now they're in the Premier. I know they're back down now. It's official, but they were up in the Premier, you know. So I wouldn't be... the cup final's coming up now, so I wouldn't be... You know, I wouldn't be as down or too down about. I think the manner in which they've gone about their business this season has probably let the fans down a little bit. They would have liked, and especially after last season, they would have liked to be in and around the top two, you know. And I think that's the shame. Even top three, you know, that'd be the aim. But playoffs it doesn't matter whether you finish second or third. You know, the playoffs are the playoffs. So they're in the playoffs now. I know it wasn't a great performance. I see that and I understand their fans' frustration. But like I said, they're in the playoffs. That was the aim at the start of the season. They're in it. Let's give it a right crack now and get behind them because they're going to need it. Last year, they didn't have the fans, or probably for a quarter of the season, they had them all back in because the restrictions went up to 500 or whatever at a certain amount of time. They had a couple of fans in anyway. But, you know, they're going to need the supporters now. And let's get into the Carlisle grounds. They're probably going to play away first, aren't they?
I'd say so, yeah. They will do, yeah, more than likely,
so they're away first. So, you know, make the trip, go and make it, get behind the team. And, you know, let's give it a right crack and let's get ourselves into the next round of the thing. Like I said, there's cup finals coming up and Bray have as good as a chance as anyone of, you know, getting there. They just need to win their games. Like I said, the manner in which they lost the game is disappointing, but the target is they still achieved the target this year, which was the playoffs.
And maybe being written off would actually help them as well. Like, you know yourself, teams, they could come up against a Galway, who obviously we'll talk about them in a second, but they're on top form. But all the pressure will be on Galway in that game, you know. But quickly on Cabinteely as well, like, look, they're 8th in the league. It doesn't make a big difference in that way. But at the same time, first ever win at the Carlisle grounds, they're going to milk it a little bit, aren't they?
Of course. Look, you're going to milk it. Like, you know, I still think it's disappointing from Cabinteely this season, and I don't even think that win does it justice for them. They know they need to get their act together next season now. Really come up with a plan of action, get themselves closer to the playoffs again, and, you know, get themselves in the playoffs. They've been there. I know they've lost their players over the years and lost some of their good talent, but, you know, let's start replacing them now. Let's start seeing Cabinteely getting back up there. The rest of the season now is just going to peter out a little bit now, and you know, I think it's only one round, isn't it? 2 rounds.
One game left, for some teams. Teams have 2 games, but they have 1 game themselves. Yeah.
So, you know, there's 1 game left now. Everything's done. Everything's dusted. So, you know, you have the playoffs. So just get through this game, and then let's get the ship sorted for next year.
Yeah, Cobh Ramblers beat Shelbourne 2-0, O'Leary and O'Connell. And look, it's a good result for Cobh. I know Shelbourne played a lot of players that haven't been playing. And I did speak about how when you do that, the cohesion's lost a little bit. But look, Cobh don't care about that. And from their point of view, it's still a big scalp for them, isn't it, to get a result like that in Shelbourne?
Yeah, big win, especially for the new gaffer down there. So,
yeah, exactly.
You know, getting the win, it puts a marker down to the other teams down there that says, look, we're probably going to get close to the playoffs next year. Look, it was a nothing game. We all know that Shels are champions, worthy champions, and they're going to give the Premier Division a right go next year. And, you know, like, I mean, I think this Shels team is going to be, I'd say, 6th, 7th next season in the Premier Division. So, you know, you're looking at the side and you're saying that's a really good side they're coming up against. You know, and I think Cobh will be delighted with that. They should be, but like I said, the season petered out for them. Let's get that closer to the playoffs. That's the target for every team. No, not every team's going to do that, but you'd like to think Cobh now can have a right go at it.
Yeah, definitely. Galway United 2, Wexford 1, and Galway been on flying form, to be fair. Walsh and Hurley with the goals, Moylan pulling them back for Wexford. Moylan's got some amount of goals for them, hasn't he, since he came in? He's been very good. But Galway, look, they keep motoring on. But as I said before, when we were talking about Bray, they might be the team on form and going into the playoffs, but that kind of puts them under more pressure in many ways as well, doesn't it?
Massive pressure. Absolutely. They've been doing really well this season, Galway, and they probably haven't got the credit they deserve for finishing second.
Probably because they had such a bad start. They start very poorly, I recall,
Yeah, they started very poorly. Yeah. But, they finished second, and they've given themselves the best possible chance of getting out of the playoffs and, maybe having a right go at whoever finishes ninth. They've given themselves the best chance they can give them. So it's going to be entertaining, I think, these playoff games, and there's stuff that it's the thing that I like about the first division. To be honest, it gives every team that little bit of bite to finishing them playoffs, and gives every team something to play for. So it's good to see. I'm looking forward to it. A lot of pressure on Galway. Wexford have been fantastic since Ian Bryan came in. So next season should be exciting. I think there'll be a bit of excitement around Ferry Carrick. So let's see how Wexford get on next year.
They finished Treaty 1, Athlone 1, and Treaty confirmed their place in the playoffs with this draw. Doing had given Athlone the lead after 25 minutes, handling penalty after 73. If Athlone had won that, would have put a little bit of pressure on Bray, would have made them a little bit nervous, 2 points behind, But that draw cements Treaty in the playoffs, and no matter what they do now, it's just been an unreal season for Treaty United, hasn't it?
Yeah, you can't ask for better for the team in their fourth season. Could they rewrite the history? Team in their fourth season in the League of Ireland, going up into the Premier Division. I've seen worse things happen, but I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing how they get on. Rightly so. They had a nice little celebration, seeing a few players and all the players with the smoke bomb. I love all that. That's excellent. I think the players deserve to have that ovation because they were the best side this season. So it's great. I'm loving Treaty United back. I'm loving to see Limerick back thriving again, and it's going to be.
They're not going to be easy beating the playoffs, aren't they? Not keen. Make no two mistakes about that.
No game is going to be easy in the playoffs. No. I don't know. Could they put a bit of history down there? It'll be brilliant to see if they do. But let's be realistic as well. That it's their fourth season. Would maybe another season suit them in the fourth division before they do go up? Maybe it might be a bit too soon. People won't forgive me now. Look, if they go up, rightly so, and deserves. But I think for the whole club, for the sake of the club, I think another year in the fourth division, or another probably 2 years even, and really challenge for that title. And I think next year, if they stay in that division, they don't want it, of course, but if they do end up staying in that division, that they are going to be up there now. They are going to be talked about because there's a lot of a level playing field there now. So. Let's see how it goes. But I don't know. My money might be on Treaty here.
Interesting stuff. UCD beat Cork City 1-0. Colin Whelan penalty on 42, and 37 goals in 45 games for Colin Whelan. I know he takes penalties, but that's ridiculous. We've seen him make his under-21 debut and score there as well. I think it's the 9th highest UCD score of all time already. Yeah. Now, I know a lot of players don't stay there long, etc. But even so, that's impressive. And look, it was a good win against Cork City and again cements their place in the playoff. And overall, I think they're the team, in terms of creating chances, scoring goals, creative players that probably are the best in the playoffs. You know what I mean? In that regard.
Yeah, I think I do. I think Galway are more rounded in terms of attack and defence. I think Treaty Treaty are kind of like that team you want to avoid in the cup. You know, they're very doggish, and you know, I think, but they can play as well. You know, we have to give them the credit. They can play. They can turn it on. They did do in this game as well that they played. But UCD are just free flowing attacking football, and Whelan just he can't stop scoring at the minute. And you know, there's going to be a lot of teams putting a word in with him, I'd say. And
if there isn't already,
yeah, if there isn't already, exactly. I'd say he probably knows his destination. Who knows, you know? But I'd say like a lot of managers now, cup finals coming up, Keith. Remember what I always say about the cup final?
I tell you, Keane, it's starting earlier this year. Like it is in that regard with transfers as well. Funnily enough,
if anyone goes to the cup final, go up to the premium level, have a look, and you see if you see any manager talking to a player, you'll see him in that jersey next year. But you know, it's brilliant for him. I think he done the right thing and staying with UCD this year again. He was always there with Yo-Yo, and it was always the two of them. This year was just him, really. You know,
what's the difference between him and Yo-Yo, actually? Because we have seen Yo-Yo, in fairness, score a lot of goals at UCD, haven't we? And people can sit here and say to themselves, well, what if Whelan goes to another club and struggles? What do you think is the difference between the two?
They're two totally different players for me. You know, Yo-Yo likes to drift out wide. And Whelan plays the width of the box.
Yeah.
He sniffs where the ball is going to be. He's very good at reading the play and knowing where the position to be in, which is fantastic, especially for his age. And he has a big future ahead if he just keeps this up. If UCD get promoted, it'd be nice to see him in that team, at least until the summer.
He could stay, I think, if they get promoted. I think, yeah probably.
It'd be good to see him in that team, in at least until the summer, like, you know, and you know, maybe then, like,
you'd probably make the same point for Kerrigan, would you, as well?
Yeah, Keeney. You know, it'd be nice to see, because there is a different level, and it'd be nice to see how they get on there. But I'm looking forward to it. The playoffs, like I said, I think every team just wants to get, like, if you could end the first division now, I think every team would be happy and just get the playoffs done, because that's what everyone wants. Like, I think I know a couple of teams have 2 games left, but you just want to play them. You just want to get them out of the way.
It's just jockeying for position now. That's all it is.
That's it, yeah. So I think the playoffs now will be a good show. Call her up and play the playoffs.
Exactly, yeah. There's not much to talk about, so we've done well there anyway. But guys, thanks for watching. Hit your bell notification button, like the video, and we're looking forward to the playoffs as well. Cheers, Keno.
Thanks, bud.
Oh, yeah.